Hey guys, how's it all going? I was going to stream earlier. Um, my mic decided to pay fun and games, and I had to reset everything. So, hopefully everything can you can hear me all okay. It's been a nightmare of a few hours trying to get everything set up. So, crystal clear. That's good to hear. Great. It's been an absolute nightmare. The beacon mic is it's good when it's all set up and running, but the settings are a complete nightmare to set up. Very expensive mic. The settings doesn't help, but we got there in the end. That's the main thing. So my original plan was to do like 100 crests and go through that, but I think if I got space in a dungeon group that I've been told that there should be space, we can do some dungeons and go from there. Really, maybe do the crests towards the end of the stream for an hour or two, just to make sure everything is set up perfectly. How's everyone finding the patch? Finally. Yeah, finally I'm here. It's been a long time coming. While we're waiting for space to happen, I'll just get in and do some dungeons. The new Survivor's Bane? Yeah, I've done a bit of it. I haven't done too much. I most probably will do some more tomorrow. 70 crests a day, 0 drops. Not even a single tier 5. Oh my god. That is taking a piss, isn't it? $70 crests though to not get really anything from it. When it's supposed to be, what, 50 guaranteed? What's going on with this group finder? There we go. It didn't get a single one. That really does take the piss. I did a few the other day, and I think I ended up getting like 2 5-stars on one run. We got an echo and shit, and a gloom, I think it was, gloomcast. Always sucks when you don't get any of the good gems. What first led you to stick with Necro? I kind of played Necro in most games I play, especially the Diablo games. It's always been my go-to. I don't know why. Maybe because it's just unique compared to other classes. Hey, man. Did everyone manage to get their spirit essence back? That everyone that lost it? I think I managed to get back about 4,500 when I logged in today. Not that I needed the spirit essence anyway, because I don't really summon many pets anymore. I've got my savior, I've got my lingering wounds. That's all that counts, right? Yeah, 4.2k already. Yeah, we're getting there. No, next stop 5k. There's some surprising growth, really. The support that I've had since I started, it's been amazing. You know, I have to thank everyone and kind of pinch myself all the time to know kind of it's happened this quickly. Find any good builds for the bone donkey? It's a meme, really, guys. The videos that I put out for it, where the two different ones, the dot resolution build and the dark curse build, They are fun to play. It's just sadly you can't get it up to 70% movement speed. And then you got the size issue as well. I know they try and fix the size. But it still doesn't make up for the fact that we can't move at 70% speed. It was pretty disappointing. When we first see it on them leaks from China, it actually looked amazing. And I was really, really excited for it. And in practice, it's quite disappointing. Now, the PvP build looks amazing, though. I don't know if anyone's tried that when it comes to the Rhino. Your content is so watchable, so great to have your content on one screen while I play on the other. That's the idea with multiple screens though, right? I couldn't ever play with with one monitor now. I forgot we got tower running for PvP now. I've got to get to legend in that before it ends. I think it's the end of the month it ends though, right? Kind of been slacking this week on everything, to be fair. Week off from work. It's been the girlfriend's birthday this week, and we've done lots of things, you see, in family and stuff like that. So, not got half the stuff of what I wanted to get done. Ends on the 19th. Oh, that's not so bad. Summoner builds. I get a lot of people talking about the summoner builds. I will have to try and get back into that. The only downside to the summoner builds is the reforges. You need to have proper reforges for them, and I got rid of mine a while ago, and I need to get them all sorted out again. And we all know what reforged stones are like. Hey, I started playing Diablo Immortal again, and your videos have been really helpful. Ah, you're welcome. I'm glad they have. How's the summons now anyway when you use the new summons build? Because they fixed the teleporting issue, right? So they don't despawn anymore. Thanks, man. I finally got on. I said that I would. I'm glad getting on was alright and it didn't kind of...
McVegas tipped £50.
Oh my god, McVegas. £50. Oh my god. Thank you very much. That's that's such a shock. Cheers. It's taken me out of the blue there. That's going to help me quite a lot when it comes to paying off the bills for my parts that I brought from my computer. Thank you very much. The gear that I'm using currently in the dungeon, it is my dungeon setup that I put out a couple of weeks ago. I'll see if I can put a link into it in the chat in a second for you. After Inferno 6, Neko has been getting shredded in PvE, like the damage taken went way up. So basically what they did is they ruined our chest piece when it comes to bone armor. So it doesn't give us defensive anymore, it just gives us damage. So you really want to go in with 2 of the class affixes on your gear when you're going into dungeons and PvE. It just reduces the damage you take, makes you a little bit less squishy. With the build that I'm currently using, so to get the speed on this one, I basically use 2 of this Corpse Lance. So with that, I should be able to get up to like 50-60%, I think it is. And that just makes me able to keep up in dungeons without having to use, you know, Spirit or Wrath Form, sorry. If only the Rhino was 70% movement speed, we could use that in dungeons. The wall check boss sometimes despawns in Helliquary. Yeah, I haven't used my summons bot builds for ages. I'll have to get around to doing that and make some videos for you guys and see what we can find out. See what's changed. How's everyone finding Helliquary doing the Inferno 6 anyway? Are you all able to do the last boss? The last boss is an absolute nightmare. Especially the amount of CI you need. This is the build I'm using now. It's basically the same as the old dungeon build. Apart from now I just use Poison Golem and Corrosive Slab instead of using the permanent golem that we used to have. You'll also notice that I'm not using the new Geminis build. I'm still waiting to get that to rank 10. Got it to rank 8 though. Once we get it to 10, I'll start doing raid testing for it and see what it's like. I hear it's really good in PvP. Took its time. See if we can catch that guy up on damage. He blasted ahead quite quickly. Is anyone else like me where I always like to fight fight the leaderboards for damage? Can't help myself. Thank you very much for becoming a member there, Okan. So as many people in the stream currently, have you all been playing since like day one, or how long have you all been playing? Nearly got me. Anyone else on my server as well? Two and a half years. That's a long time, isn't it, to be playing a game like this, considering it is a mobile game. And it's, I kind of looked and think to myself, like, playing this since day one. And how quick the time has gone. You know, you just get so involved with all the min-maxing and stuff, time flies. There's some of the people that I've played with have always been, especially the warband members. You know, we all complained about warbands when they first kind of come out, but I think they're great. The warband I'm in, we've always stuck together since pretty much the beginning. No, I think it's been at least 2.5 years. It must have been the warband's been together. New gem any good? I hear good things. You know, I've got to do a lot of testing myself when it comes to the raids and stuff, but I hear it is very, very good in PvP. You know, the fear there is comes in very handy. I've only managed to get mine to rank 8, so it's not really one that I can test at the moment to see where it compares. The essences for this build, the build is the dungeon build that's on my channel. The latest one. Let me grab a link. Do you think the mount is good to use in PvE? I mean, you can do if you're just using it as a farm build. Why not? No, it can easily do like terror rifts and bounties and things like that. And maybe I'll do a terror rift after this and show you what the mounts are like. No problem. I'm just glad we don't need 8 people for warband stuff. 4 is hard enough for a ticket. Yeah. I'm quite lucky playing with the people that I do. We've always got plenty of people online, and being in the clan that I am, if we need people to do raids, we can always just drag in some sort of whale and they will come and help us clear raids if we need the extra CR. What was going to do? We're going to do a Terror Rift. Which mount one have I got on here? We've got the dot mount. We can do it with this one. Should be fine. All the gear that I need. Where are the TRs though? Frozen Tundra. That's good. We'll do this one. You get to see this build in action. Who said I can stream? I did say in the last couple of videos that I was going to kind of want to do some streams, so... I haven't done any this week. I got a busy day tomorrow. Slacking. Also, hello man. How are you? You still do dungeons that you come off? This is one of the best teleporters they added to the game. See, the Rhino build is absolutely fine. No problems here. You're still doing dungeons. Are you winning the new dungeons though? Have you had any good gear? Or has it been one of those shit days? Where is all the mobs? This place is normally surrounded by mobs. Ah, that's because someone's already killed them all. There we go. See, the thing that I find with this build is these new skulls. They just don't do... They do good damage, but you have to have 5 mobs around you. And I think that is an issue with this, because they don't rely on corpses. You changed to Barb earlier. I did see that in the Discord. You're a bit of a traitor now, mate. What made you change to Barb? I don't know about that also. I heard they're pretty weak at the moment. Did they nerf this area? Blood Knight Bear? Oh my god. I just don't know what to say to that. Yeah, how is that Elite build then? Is it really that good, the new Elite build? I bet it's quite a lot of fun to play. Man, when I start swapping classes, I'm going to have a right mission. So I've literally played no other classes. If I want to swap classes, that's a lot of farming that's got to be done. It's quite a scary thought. I've not got many essences and it's pretty fun in all content so far. That sounds quite promising. Considering you had nothing when you first started. What about the kind of the mastery levels when it comes to, you know, extracting your essences? You got that leveled up? So the only downside to this build, guys, is the fact that Rhino loses the primary attack. And the fact that it doesn't move 70% speed. If we had a primary attack while we're still on our Rhino, whether that be some sort of aura or spikes come out the Rhino or something like that, it'd make the build so much better. Actually, was bad timing with war. The Necro King should have been there. Yeah, that's the true. That's the only downside when you swap classes, right? But I think that's why they changed it so you can swap every 24 hours. It just makes more sense, right? Indez, how's it going, man? Did you have a good stream today? I'm using a bit of the meme build here, man. Well, I was going to stream earlier, and then I had some mic issues. I had to set it all up again. All my settings decided to reset itself, and that took me about an hour or so to get that done. So, bit of a nightmare, but we got there in the end. I'm glad you had a good stream, though. As always, man. As always. Yeah. I think it's just one of those things, though, and tech issues are bound to happen when you don't want them to. Indez, Laura said Barb is really weak now. What does Indez think about that? I think Indez is having fun playing Demon Hunter at the moment. What's my thoughts on the new gem? Am I using it? I'm currently not using it in this build. I still haven't got it to rank 10. I need to get it to rank 10 to do some proper testing. Barb is so bad at the moment, not good in PvP or PvE. Back to the trash can. Yeah, see, sadly. And Indez looked like he was blasting it in PvP earlier. That's a very good point. That's the thing, Laura FK. I'm Necro, so all nerfs are nothing to me. That is very true. Yeah, we've been hit by the nerf stick quite a few times recently, haven't we? Demon Hunter is pretty fun. What is going on here? What's going on? That's better. Always was. That doesn't mean the class is the best, but really isn't bad at the moment. I've never really played Demon Hunter. I didn't even really play that much in other Diablos, like D3. First stream, welcome in. Yep. Was going to stream earlier, but, you know, tech issues and all that shit. I'm very well, thank you. How are you? I know also. I've always been Necro. Maybe one day I'll switch. Maybe when Druid comes out. It'd be weird to play another class now, though. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the Druid. I think that will be something I do swap to. I just wish they would sort out all the issues when it comes to the stash and that when you swap over. And your inventory. It just sounds like a right mess. Thanks, man. You might swap to Necro tonight, I'll say. I don't... have you ever played Necro? From Egypt. Thanks for coming in. Man, it must be a late night for you guys over there. It's already 11:15. Here. You've never been Necro? That'd be interesting to see you swap to Necro. I suppose at least you've got all my guides. It's kind of cheating though. Next time I try and raid, you just need to switch some settings on YouTube. You had to do. When did they do raids on YouTube? Has that always been a thing, or is that just new recently? Also, we'll be going Blood Knight tomorrow. I think he's played Blood Knight before. It's called Redirect. What a stupid name. You have a free guide, but you probably won't watch my videos. You'll probably just ask me. When did you last play Blood Knight, though? Also. That is also true, yeah. Maybe I should charge him. I boosted him enough. While he's been AFK in dungeons. Is that the only time you played it? You haven't played it since then? You started as a BK. How quick did you change? So this is how fast the mount should be. After 2 weeks. Yeah, that sounds about right. I haven't seen you on Barb for ages. Are you Barb now? Your first 3 months was Blood Knight. How did it feel to change after you was Blood Knight for 3 months? On the good old Orif videos, yeah. I suppose people like Orif, the way he does his videos is kind of easy to kind of see the benefits of changing, right? I don't know why I stuck with Necro for all this time and just kind of decided just to stick with it. I think it was because I followed Dark microtransactions, or Daft microtransactions for a long time when the game first came out, and he played pretty much Necro exclusively. What do I think's best, to Barbarian or Tempest? At this moment in time, I would probably say Tempest from what I've heard. But then I don't swap very often. Exactly, Indez. How dare they come to my stream and ask for me anything, anything apart from Necro stuff. The word on the street, though, is apparently Barb's not in a good place at the moment, so I would say Tempest out of them two. I suppose it all depends on the playstyle you like as well. That's the last one there done. I'll switch out builds now, guys. I'm going to change from the Rhino. We're going to speed it up. No downsides to Tempest, no.
That Johan guy tipped £4.20. Fuck the Tories. G's on first live stream, mate.
Fuck the Tories. Yeah. Cheers, man. Appreciate it. This is better. Faster. Nah, we don't do parental filters, mate. This is, we don't need that. Why is this lag, guys? Does anyone else experience this? Is this what you was talking about the other day, Indez, when you was playing Necro? This kind of jittery bullshit. Cancelled. It's just makes it so much like unplayable. I won't get it on the other build. Just look at it, look. Is that to do with the Colossus though? Good night, mate. Have a good evening. It gives a rubber band effect. This is like so unplayable. Maybe Rhinomancer is the way to go, guys, if you've experienced in this crap. Rhinomancer is the new MVP of Necros, guys. Confirmed. You do not get a rubber band effect. Just look at it. I think I'll change back after this one. I'll probably change now. You can change in here, right? As long as I don't get back into combat. I think I'm in combat. Piss off. The only way to fix it is to turn off the PC, really. I didn't have it a second ago, though. Talking about PCs, when's your new one coming? Did we get it? We did. Sweet. No more lag now. Still waiting for the Nvidia stock to come in. My god. That is, that's taking a piss though, that is really. That's so long. When did you actually order that then? That was like, what? 3 or 4 weeks ago that you actually ordered it? Almost 3 weeks. That's crazy to think it's taken that long. I know when I ordered mine years ago when I got the 3080. That was a similar sort of delay though. I think I had, when I first ordered it, it released on like September 17th, and I think I had to wait until the end of October to get it. That was like the longest 6 weeks ever. Hopefully you don't have to wait too much longer though, man. It's going to be a weird experience. It's going to be like playing a completely different game to start with, isn't it? Having a new computer. My issue is people start getting new computers and I want to build myself one. And it can't happen at the moment. Especially with the bad stuff I hear about some of the 50 series. What graphics card did you go with anyway? I should be moving faster than this. Yeah, I could if I was using Bleak as well, but they need to keep the Survivor's Bane like this. What you guys think? Has anyone actually managed to get the boss to spawn, the special boss, and actually kill it yet? the 50. I'm glad you said the 5070 and not the 5060 because I've heard a lot of shit about the 5060. But Nvidia drivers the last few weeks have been absolutely crap as well. That's pretty much what I've heard there about the 5060. Yeah, I've not really looked at the specs of the 5070 Ti, but I just know that there is a lot of bad press about the 5060 and the two different variants because I think they've done an 8 and a 16, right? I might just wait until the 6000 series is out. You got the 4070 Ti last summer. Very happy with it still. It's always good when you get on a nice deal. I think the best value for money. I don't know what you paid for that in like English pounds, but when I got my 3080, that was the best value for money that they've done in graphics cards for a long time. I think I paid like £690 for my 3080 MSI. Oh, for sure, for sure. When I set out a budget for mine, when I build one Windows, I always set out probably you got to be talking £2,500 to £3,000 really. Having that sort of budget, and if you come under budget, then win-win really. I don't think there's any other sort of budget you can have, especially with prices nowadays. You got the 12700K as well, i7, nice, 64 gigs of DDR5. See, I've still got like 32 of DDR4. Next computer I would do would be probably 64 as well. Man, that's cheap. So you're an Intel guy then, or do you like AMD as well? Or do you just look at the cost? That's almost what it sounds like, isn't it? Such a good buy. Was it like one of them lorries parked up and you just put the money on the side? And if that was a secret, then the secret's out, mate. Secret is out. You're an Intel guy from the old days. Yeah, I've always just stuck with Intel. Not really got a clue about AMD to do with all the sockets and stuff and setting it all up, so I would agree with that. I know AMD sometimes works out cheaper, but I think you just kind of stick with what you know, right? When it comes to PCs. Especially if you're building them. I build all mine, so I don't get them custom built. You already missed the AFK farming days. Man, I've been on holiday all week and yeah, I've not done any AFK farming this week. At all. You've never joined a group and AFK farmed with Necros then? You just got to stand with them and just AFK. Necros is to kill everything for you. It's fine. Oh really? I didn't realize that was the case. I see so many other classes doing it, just AFKing with Necros. I suppose the gear is, yeah. If you're just after XP, then fair, and obviously the gems and the runes, but then runes in Overworld AFK farming like me and you've discussed before, doesn't really drop, does it? Also would have probably agree with you there. Hey Voodoo, how are you, man? Thanks for coming along. It's really good that so many people have turned up. I didn't expect many people to turn up considering it's so late. And considering it's first stream as well, you know? I don't think you're going to get much gear in Westmarch, mate. That's probably true. Have you been to Yankadin and done your brought your gear from him today? That's a way of getting some loot while you're in Westmarch. Is that daily? Yeah, of course it's daily. Man, go get your Westmarch loot. I always forget to go buy stuff from him. I suppose at the point where I just don't really need it. thought I meant the current event. Nah, not the current event. Talking about current events, has anyone actually been able to get the gem from doing Zod? If so, how many boxes did you open? Cheers for coming along though, man. Have a nice relaxing time just chilling with the wife. Take it easy, buddy. You're at number 28 in no gem. Oh, that's not going to look good for me then. I think I've opened about 5. I'm sure he will at some point, man. If not, there's probably... I'm surprised he hasn't got one on this channel already. Come on, man. You know you're not going to get me playing Demon Hunter anytime soon. I will join you if you're still in the stream, also. I'll join you in about 5 minutes. I just want to finish this one. I think it's the same with most classes, isn't it? You know, PvP builds and the meta has been somewhat the same now for months. We need a good meta shift. What's the essences for the flying skulls? I believe it's this one, right? Or is it... This is one of them. Let me not die. $71 CR from 48k, man. You're well ahead of me. What's your reso at though? This is the shield you want. Here you go. This is the shield you want for the flying skulls, the Death's Egress. And I pair that with the chest and with the main hand as well. I did also. I said I'd be with you in about 5 minutes, mate. If you can definitely keep a space open for me, I will definitely want to run a few dungeons. Just want to finish this round of TRs, mate. Cheers, man. It's now nearly 1:15 over where you are. It is now 11:45 over here. So you're an hour ahead. Late night dad stream. Well, the good news is I'm not a dad, so I can just do what I want pretty much. I think that was the last one, so I can now, yeah, leave this group, do my last 5 tomorrow, and join Osso and the guys in the dungeons. Make sure it is only 5, isn't it? It's 5. You see, guys, I have so many different builds. I could do with more space, just testing out stuff. Becomes a nightmare sometimes. The only PvP build I got currently saved is my Golem, because I haven't got a DPS PvP build at the moment. I actually prefer Golem. What about you guys who play Necros? Golem or the DPS PvP build? The Fear build? What do you prefer? Oh man, that's going back, isn't it? 5 armory slots. I love the Golem build. It's so much fun. Have you been using the new gem with it yet? You like the DPS? I haven't played DPS in dungeons for or in PvP for a long time. It's always just go to Golem now. I probably won't be top DPS in this very often. We got holes in the group. I don't know what wrestler he's sitting at now. 10. You might not take it above R6. How come? That poison stuff that drops on the ground is so dangerous. It's better. Get out of there. I've done a little bit of testing with the Crimson on the raid build, just sitting on a dummy. But I don't really know what to replace yet. I've been replacing the Mornskull and doing the testing, but Mornskull is rank 10 and my Crimson is only rank 8, so. What was my main in D3? It was mostly, believe it or not, Negro. And I played a shit ton of Monk. You don't see it as a must-have. I know, shocked. Yeah, you don't see it as a must-have, so R6 is high enough rank to test it and can fill a resonating slot. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm doing more DPS than a 10k reso. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, mate. I did get wrecked, though. Paying doesn't get you everything, sadly. Probably as well, you know. Same as Osso. Osso always slacks, man. He's probably having a nap. This poison stuff. I gathered you were still there. You're always having a nap during dungeons, man. He spent all that money on to get 10k reso for can't buy skill. Savage. Also, your main AFK farming is in dungeons. That's true, and then he still complains about all the gear that drops. Literally at the end of the dungeon run, guys, also will say, all shit gear. Not a good piece. Why do I even play this game? Yeah, he has figured out the right way to AFK farm greens, man. The trouble is you can't following challenge dungeons. He used to get away with it all the time when we only had the normal dungeons, but he just doesn't get away with it anymore. You got 37 greens from tonight farming. Not bad going. Correct him there. I like that. Rephrasing. He definitely means AFKing. Oh. You've only got 31, is that I just see in my party chat? Sad times. I agree. Kick Osso from the party, we're being told, guys. Downside is Osso is a leader. Definitely been done before though. 100%. Man, so many legendaries. Laughing like a kettle there. That's a brilliant saying. You gonna go to sleep? We'll host a Q&A with Steve at a local pub tomorrow. Football talk. I'm not a football lover, man. But thanks for coming along. Enjoy your day tomorrow. That can't be right. Also, it's done the most damage so far in this dungeon. I'll try to, man. It's always a drag. What reso are you now anyway, also? You must be getting up to 6.5, 7k? 6.3, is that your max? Lag there. Six three is your max. Take it you've not put any money into the game recently then. It doesn't. In PvE, Reso is not really going to make that much of a difference depending on how you do your gems. Also free to play. He wishes. Hey Laura, would you say the new gem is more PvP gem and not necessarily better than others with gem boost and damage? I would probably agree with that statement somewhat, but more testing will tell me the answer really. I would say that having the 8 gems that we've got already, depending on your spend level in the game, you can stack enough damage with the current damage gems. It is just another stacking damage gem, and really and truthfully, I don't know what to replace when it comes to mine. You know, I've been looking at replacing the Morn Skull, which is mine rank 10 at the moment, but when I try and out damage that in a raid build, when it comes to having a Crimson instead, I don't see that there's going to be a significant increase in it. If you don't have Morn Skull, then maybe it would be worth leveling. I'm still going to rank it to 10 though, guys, so I can test it and show you kind of what it does when it comes to the raid build, because I think that's where we're going to use it a lot when it comes to testing the gem out, when it comes to the PvE. And then I also want to try it in my Golem build for PvP. The only reason why I want it is just because of damage reduction, the fear aspect in PvP. Yeah, I'd agree. At this moment in time, that would be a fair statement. I still think, like, it is an S tier gem, though. Simply because it is a massive kind of damage increase in gem. And it has got that extra bit to it as well, where you've got the damage reduction as well as the fear. No, in any tier ranking system, when it comes to that gem, it should be ranked as an S tier every single time. For any class. It's just an unusual gem, isn't it, when it comes to having that trifecta kind of abilities on it. You know, the fact that you can increase the damage, the fact that you can decrease your damage, as well as having a fear on it. It's just a very unusual 2-star gem. It's a shame that you can't get an increase with Vifus, 2-piece. But you can increase the duration with all other beneficial effects. So you can get it up to about 9 seconds, I think. Without 2-piece Vifus. Now, if they do come along and fix 2-piece Vifus, then we should see an increase of maybe to 11 seconds, around about that maximum, which is then make the gem even better. And I think that's the only reason at the moment in time that I can see it being a difficult one to place in our PvE builds because of Mornskull being affected by beneficial effects. Also, doing his normal stance there, look. Waiting for all the mobs to be killed. You'll rank it to 8 and extract power if needed. I do have enough crests for 20 copies. I'm not going to 40 because of the... Yeah, I'd agree. We don't know what's coming with the 3rd anniversary. There could be some really cool, you know... I would expect we're going to get a 1, 2, and 5 star for the anniversary. What they will be, who knows? But I would expect them to be probably very powerful when it comes to them new gems for the anniversary. The only downside is now, what we have with gems is that there's so many good ones. When it comes to actually figuring out which ones are the better ones to have, it becomes very difficult. Simply because of the way we have to test things. You know, the dummies, they're okay for doing some testing, but they don't always give us the right answer. Oh, we just got a gauntlet run. I was expecting mobs. And the new free weapon cosmetic for Crusader, I have to be honest, it might be the best looking weapon of... yeah, it looks incredible, doesn't it? The Crusader one. I really did like that. I do really like the new, the Phantom, the Berserker armor. I think it's really, really nice. But it's just, it's not one I'm going to be paying for. I did do a few rolls, wasn't lucky. Did everyone get the new pet though, when it comes to the epic version? I did. I had to go for the one with the beard. Makes sense. Thanks for the sub, Ivan. The white one isn't as bad as... I just think the white one, when it comes to fitting it on a Necro, it's just too bright. I think the helm is what does it. When you take the helm off, it really looks good.
Don't be afraid. Watch out!
An 80s anime, yeah, I'd agree with that. Laura, have I done Winds of Fortune? No, I'll be doing that tomorrow, mate. I'll be activating that probably late in the evening. I'll be on around about that sort of time. Yeah, I'll be on around about that sort of time. Tomorrow, maybe. Is that 21:30 UK or server? Server time. I can probably sort something out to be around, probably be about that sort of time or half an hour later, so it'll be between 9:30 server and 10 server I'll be on. It's a good thing that you're doing live stream. I'm not Neko and still consume your content, lol. Thank you very much. It just obviously means I'm doing an alright job. It was always a concern of mine when I first started doing the content, you know. I obviously started doing it when I had the AI voice over it. Just because I was just, I suppose, nervous about using my own voice, kind of not liking the sound of my own voice. Now though, I've got used to it. You know, it's just one of those things. I suppose it's practice makes perfect, and you kind of get used to listening to your own voice. But to start with, it was a massive kind of thing for me. You know, I just dreaded doing it. But 5 videos later, times have changed. Cheers, man. It's just one of those things, isn't it, Wade? You know, I think most people will say they hate the sound of their own voice. And I think when it comes to live streaming, like, you sit here and you kind of almost feel like you're talking to yourself to start with until people come in. And then, although I'm talking out aloud now and you guys are just typing in a chat, it just feels okay. It feels natural, I suppose. Hearing it on the radio fucks you up. Yeah, I can imagine hearing your own voice on the radio for sure. What program did I use to make those voiceovers? It was 11 Labs. Also, bro, your British, that accent is always awesome. Kind of straight from a James Bond movie. Well, I don't know. My accent is probably not the perfect British accent. The trouble is, a lot of us Brits will use a lot of slang depending on what part of the country we come from. And some of the accents, I don't think mine's one of them, but some of the accents are really difficult to understand, I suppose, for some people that are not from the UK. There was one of my videos, and I don't know if the guys in chat who put the comment down, but he did say that he couldn't understand a thing that I was saying because of my accent. Anyway, been watching your videos for a while now. Hope you get the partnership with DI. Cheers, brother. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate them words. You should change your name to Diablo's James Bond. I'm just going to carry on doing my thing, guys. You know, I think the partner program is a great thing to be in. For the people that are in it, they get to see some of the things before we all do, which I think is cool. They get to do testing on the test server every now and again, which I think is cool. They get to do that and experience that. And if I ever do get an invite, obviously I will accept it. But I'm still going to keep doing what I'm doing, even if I don't. And I think now with live streaming, it's just going to make things even easier for me. Simply because if I haven't got any video ideas, I can just come and do some live streaming and just talk to everyone. If you change to Necro, what build would I recommend? It's incredibly hard, at least the last one. The last boss is a nightmare. I think if you want to do G5 and you want to kind of push through it, you're definitely going to want to have a good few whales in there. But I think build-wise, just a standard raid build is good enough when it comes to our build that we use. And I think it's just going to be a matter of learning the tactics for the fight more so than everything. You can't brute force these ones, I'm afraid. I even getting all the way through I6 Heliquary raids at the moment. You need a whale to kind of do the last boss at the very least. And that fight is just a complete nightmare.
We grow ever stronger.
Hey man, how's it going? Have you been streaming recently? Thanks for joining anyway. It's good to see you in. We did have Indez pop in as well earlier on. You think Blizzard should reconsider making first G5 clear easier and then making the next runs harder for whales to compete and get something special? I suppose that would be kind of a cool idea. Because it is a shame that 90% of the server can't do it, but then isn't that the incentive kind of for people to go and spend so they can do it? And that's what Blizzard wants. They're obviously in it to make money, aren't they? They make plenty, they do. How am I finding it so far? Setting it up took me a good few days to get everything how I wanted it when it comes to like alerts and everything like that. And then I had mic issues to start with today. I went to stream earlier and my mic decided it was going to reset all of its programming. So I had to go through all that again and it's an absolute nightmare, you know, tech issues. But other than that, luckily, I do have quite a good computer already. The dumb skin costs the same as a Nintendo Switch. That's very true. They do cost a lot of money. Please speak to Holes and tell him to change to male monk. Why do you want him to change to a male monk? Is there a story behind this? I have a feeling there is. It doesn't seem like he's going to give up, also. Not at all, mate. I've just seen, literally in the world chat, Holes talking about bald monk fetish. Is that the story behind this? Also, let's be honest, Laura, if it's a mobile game, every new update is some rehashed, and it always comes with so many bugs. This game isn't worth 100k. It's like paying. Yeah, it's a mobile game, but, you know, with any kind of mobile game, when it comes to being a gacha game, it's always going to be spend there, isn't it? That's what funds the rest of it. And sadly, you know, DI did turn into one of these really expensive games when it comes to pay to win. You know, and then they obviously decided to do it with the cosmetics as well, you know, which are very expensive. Now, they could have made the cosmetics cheaper, I agree. But people will pay for them. And while people will continually pay for them, the price will be what the price is, I suppose. I still enjoy the game, and I think the game is great as a free-to-play player, or a pay-to-win player, whatever you choose to do. Of course, but they should at least invest in a good program and dev team. You know, recently there's been, I would agree, there's been too many bugs recently. More bugs than we should really accept, especially the kind of the random spirit essence bug that happened, you know, was very strange. And, you know, this Vifu issue with the kind of the two-piece Vifu when it comes to Crimson and Lovers, is that a bug, or is that how it's supposed to be? It sounds like it could just be a bug to me. I would also like to see PC optimization. I don't know about you guys, what you all play on, but I pretty much exclusively play on PC, apart from the odd raid where I do drop on a mobile phone. But a PC kind of client for the game, I think is needed. And I know the game is a kind of a dying game, so to speak. You know, we've all heard this conversation between kind of me, Indez and Echo. But I think having a PC client to help all these PC players that do play it. Exactly my point there, Drew. It's you have a nice PC and it still lags. You know, I get it all the time. It doesn't matter what setup you have, you're still going to get the odd bits of lag. And I think Indez will notice that when he gets his new computer. There will still be some instances of lag. It's not even internet lags though, Voodoo. It's just general lags from the game itself, you know, due to the optimization it has on PC. For some people, £200 is a drop in the ocean and they wouldn't mind spending it on a cosmetic. I agree, some people don't. You know, I am definitely not one of those people, for sure. And I can see exactly why Blizzard price it at that point, because they are looking for them people that are willing to just not care what they drop into the game when it comes to spending money. You know, I don't know how often we get these cosmetics come up now when they're phantom markers. Isn't it like once every couple of months? But I wouldn't be surprised if they increase that to once every month. As the game kind of loses players and new players join and leave because of the catch-up mechanics not being as good as what they could be, Blizzard still has to keep the revenue incoming. So if they put in a phantom cosmetic every month, then there's a potential money stream. Same with gems. You know, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually do get extra gem slots. Although we don't need them. I think for me, I've spent in the game since the launch probably a few thousand quid, I should expect, over a period of the 3 years. Hi Troy, good evening mate. Most of the people that spend a lot in a game are poor. Sadly, I think you're probably not wrong. There are people that maybe can't generally spend a lot of money in a game, but they get that kind of a dopamine fix that when they do, they think they're going to get something good, and that's what Blizzard are counting on. That's what, you know, companies like that play these games or make these games are counting on, right? But it also depends on what you play the game for. If you're like me, I like the game for the PvE content. Don't get me wrong, I love the PvP content as well, but I think when you're a lower spender, you have to play a class or a build that works for that kind of that class when it comes to doing PvP. You know, Necro Golem, for instance. You know, you don't need to have hundreds and hundreds or thousands of reso to play it. Don't get me wrong, it's a better build when you do play it with that much reso, but you can do it without. They will most likely introduce normal gem infused. I think 100% they're going to do that. You know, to me, they need to, before they do something like that, though, they need to introduce a catch-up mechanic when it comes to normal gems, so that the players that are joining the game for the first time are actually reaching max level. And as we all know, when they get to max level, they don't have enough secondaries to do most of the content in the game. And that's why they're kind of giving up, because they've got no incentive to carry on. They need a catch-up mechanic when it comes to getting them secondary stats. The one thing I'd like to see him get rid of out of the game: strength and intelligence. I think they could roll that into another stat. Do we know if the chip of stone flesh procs from fear of the new... That is a good question. Has anyone tried that? I feel that there's a couple in the stream that may have already tried something like that. Or may already know the answer, because it's not something I've tried, but it's something that I will try. And once I do know the answer, I will definitely pass that answer along to everyone else. But if someone does have the answer already, let us know. Also says it's raining greens tonight. 42 greens he's had. I've had a few. Nothing special probably, yeah. I can't see why the stone flesh wouldn't proc from the new fear gem. Unless it's coded to just not work with the gem itself. But it's still a total loss of control, so it should. That's strange. They made it so you can see your familiar damage at the dummy. They didn't do it for dungeons. Old Man Bronze, thanks for popping on by. I'm glad it looks great and sounds great. It's always nice to hear for a first stream. You don't think familiar does damage in dungeons only on dummy? Well, in theory, it should do the same thing in dungeons because you want it to attack for lingering runes. We know it never attacked on a dummy until this patch. But when you attack on the dummy now, you actually see it as a separate attack. Am I planning on streaming once a week? It will probably be something like that to start with, and maybe more. You know, it all depends on, like, because I play just Necro and I got a lot of the builds out there at the moment. I think streaming is going to be something we can utilize and get the community together, just chatting about the game and about general shit. Really, you know, I will talk about anything. You on 0-3? I've had a week like that though, to be honest. I've had a week off work, and it's just been about, you know, just chilling with the missus. It was her birthday this week, so we spent time with her family, spent some time with my family. Just did I actually went out for the first time in a while because I work from home, so when I'm working from home, you don't really get to go out as much as you would like sometimes. So touching grass this week was actually quite nice. And it was actually really, really warm in the UK, so as you will know. Laura, what do you think about the Rhino and the new 2-star gem for PvP and /PvE? Okay, so Rhino is a good build. It has its issues. There is builds you can do with it to make it work with Bleak as well to get you kind of the 70% movement speed, but I think that is yeah, I think that you kind of lose out on certain things when it's trying to use Bleak Augury in it. Now, I think when it comes to the actual build itself, there's two versions. You've got a Dark Curse version and you've got a Grim Scythe version. Now, I would say it's good to try both and see what you prefer. I prefer the Dark Curse version, even though I haven't got that one equipped in my my kind of loadouts at the moment. Just because you get a massive Dark Curse area and you're dragging the mobs into you is much more fun. Now, when it comes to the new 2-star gem, I have only got it to rank 8. I haven't really tested it out much at the moment in time, but from what I understand, it's very difficult to place it in a build when it comes to doing PvE content, because there is so many good damage boosting gems already. Now, when it comes to PvP, the fear aspect of it is comes in handy. And I think in general, I think the gem is good for PvP. Do you think streaming is the way to go for a game that doesn't have much you can improve on a daily basis? Interacting with the community is much more important. I would definitely agree with that, Drew. I think the game is very much about building a community more so than anything else. If it weren't for the community, I don't think a lot of us would have continued playing. And I think the community we build when it comes to warbands and the clan is what makes the game, really. And I think it's also another thing that the other content creators miss out on, right? When it comes to doing streams. You heard Colossus increases Rhino. It does increase Rhino. Now, I'll have to probably do a video on this because I think I want to show it. They did have a thing in the patch notes which they removed to do with character size. And there is some weird things that are going on with the character size when it comes to the size of the Rhino, and you can get it to permanently increase in size, which is kind of interesting, but it only works in certain ways. True, good point, Laura. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Also, you know, you think for us, like, we've been playing this game together 2.5 years easily. Never really spoke a word to each other, like, over the phone or anything like that. It's just been through Discord and through the game. And I think building a community up like that is what counts, because you feel a connection. Time is flying. Yeah, I know. I've been streaming nearly 2 hours already. I miss the legendary down here. It must have been a rune or something like that. Nah, it wouldn't have been a rune. Runes don't drop. Am I enjoying it? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's different. I didn't know if I would or not. And I think as I get used to doing it more and more, and I think it would just become more enjoyable. You know, getting used to see similar faces in the chat and stuff like that, you know, building up a bit more of a community. You know, that's what I'm all about, really. The game gets better this year or goes downhill. I think, to be fair, like, we're already on a downward trajectory, so at the end of the day, they're going to keep adding stuff to the game, and that will most probably be very similar to what we got now, and it will continue that way until the game does fizzle out. I would say you've still got, you know, 2 to 3 years at least with this game. And even, maybe even longer if nothing comes along to finish this game off. You know, there's no ARPG that's on mobile at the moment that comes close to removing Diablo from that, having that crown. Diablo Immortal 2 when? Yeah, we should start the movement, mate. We should start the movement. Maybe that one will be free to play. Yeah, I think it is a good one, isn't it? I don't think free to play in mobile games just doesn't mix today. I wonder what the game would have just been though if it had only been cosmetics that were free to that were a cost to the game, and everything else was just a matter of time playing it. It'd have been interesting to see how the game would have gone if they'd have done it that way originally, because the hype for the game was absolutely insane when it first came out. And then as soon as people realized how pay to win it was. That's the thing, the game is fun, but Blizzard is so greedy and they prefer letting the game die instead of giving the opportunity. The trouble is it's tied with NetEase as well, isn't it? You know, it's not just obviously Blizzard, we've got to think of the other part of it as well. Well, they could have kept the pay to win but removed the caps. That could have been another interesting way to go. The amount of caps we have in the game when it comes to like secondaries and stuff. Yeah. Why do we need so many? You know, this is the first kind of Diablo game that you have a cap on the amount of gems and stuff you can get, which is very, very odd. I mean, the only real free premium cosmetic we got was from the first anniversary. They just went weapons. Yeah. Imagine farming normal gems uncapped. The only issue with that is then, you know, you would then have many more bots and many more AFK farmers, right? That would be insane, wouldn't it? You know, sitting there farming thousands and thousands and thousands of normal gems just to level up to rank 10. We do, sadly, you know, when it comes to the bots we have in game, you know, farming and selling the normal gems, there is quite a few of them. And I know we have the AFK farmers when it comes to Necros, but I think when it comes to the Negro's AFK farming, I kind of, being a Negro, I clearly support it, but I can also see it from another point of view that it is an issue. I think me and Indes have had this chat a few times on his streams. What just killed me the second time there? Ah, scrubbing out, guys. Such a noob. That is explosive reaction is virtually impossible to see, also. AFK farm is fine. They could easily ban bots, but they don't want to. Wanting to and doing so. I suppose they do want to, but I suppose when it comes to doing it, they'd be fighting in a losing battle, right? And yeah, obviously the issue you say as well is AFK farming is fine. Now AFK farming is fine as long as you're not doing it fully kind of autonomous when it comes to using a third-party app or some sort of device that you can do that with out of game. What am I doing? Getting tired. 1:45. Cheers, Ols. The whale come to save me, guys. Is that when you're finishing? Is that also 2 server time? Sounds like a plan, man. Sounds like a plan. I'll most probably finish up that sort of time as well then. Ready for a massive farm day tomorrow to catch up in the week that I've been chilling. You've had a long day playing. How long have you been playing for today then? Hours, I should expect. Would you not at work today?
I can smell the
Are we on the same server? We're not on the same server, I don't think. I'm not sure what server he is on, to be honest with you. I'm on Pools of Wisdom, so... Me and Indez are on the same server. You're on... You're on the toxic one. What server are you on? I suppose at least you're only on a server that's got 2 other connected servers. You've had 2 mergers. I was on the Unspoken before this server, and they'd had a couple of merge. So it was nice to come to a server like Pools where they've not had any merge as of yet. No doubt they will at some point soon. You know, over the next 6 months I should expect there'll be more mergers. It is definitely hard to keep a track of all. I should think we'll get more mergers after they've done the cross-server auction house, right? Whenever that is coming.
If the scepterpiece is still here, it lies in the deepest recesses.
P with the gang in Gardens of Hope. Do many people do much switching around when it comes to servers then? I've only ever swapped once. I see, yeah. How long did he actually play the game for? It couldn't have been very long. I was on my old server right up until like January. And then we moved to this to join Akuma. Blame also on the move. Yeah, you did want to move over here and I was a bit hesitant, but I think it's probably the best thing we've done. As I say, I didn't think he played for very long at all, you know. I just think it was yeah, a game that was massive to start with, and then within like 3 months maximum people decided to leave, weren't they? Because of how much pay to win was involved. All clans were Shadow on release and we got the first rain. Nice. He stopped about 3 weeks right into the Immortal Reign. Oh, that's sad that that happened. You know, the Immortal Reigns back then could be very long though, couldn't they? You think the market merge will be a good thing? I think it will make it worse, especially for servers where there's somewhat good value stuff. It's hard to say how it's going to be, right? Is it going to make a good balance between the servers? And I suppose the bad servers and the good servers being mixed, it may balance the economy out. But overall, I think in time, it will just be a bad economy just because of the type of game it is. It's not like a World of Warcraft, you know, auction house, is it? After mergers, we have a bunch of creators on this server though. Yeah, I think that's one of the other reasons I joined this one as well, and I wanted to come to this one when also said about it. It's because it has, you know, got a few people on it that are creators. Yeah, I agree. It's what you make it really, isn't it? And what the community there is like. You know, we've all heard of the bad things that have gone on some servers, but I think my experience with the 2 servers that I've been on and the clans that I've been in have mostly been positive. You know, keep yourself out of the drama. Just do what you got to do when it comes to the Immortal dailies and the Shadow dailies, and yeah, everything's normally fine. I think we all have our own little cluster of people we all play with as well right now. Explosive reaction again. Hopefully I don't die. Oh yeah, I 100% agree, Drew. You know, every server is going to have its dramas somewhere, whether you know it and know of it or not. There's still going to be some drama there when it comes to the clans that are, you know, fighting out for the swap of the Immortal Reign. You know, for instance, there's going to be drama between them two alliances. And I suppose if you're not in a kind of position in the clan where you're dealing with that and dealing with the running of the clan, you're not going to notice as much of it. Wow. Even George died. I'm most supposed to stream again tomorrow as well, guys. I want to get the 100 crests done that I've got. See what we can get. I did kind of put in a bit of money into the game when it comes to this event, so I was lucky enough to get a lot of crests. WoW's normally take it. Yeah, they do normally do that. We've seen that a few times, that's for sure. But they're just in a different part of the game to us, aren't they, when it comes to that, you know. Whales beefing is just a part of the game. Not any runes dropped for a while. Not any good runes anyway. It's all been grey, blue.
The Haradrim, you've arrived. Sultan Kul and Tal Rasha are already fighting. The demons are trying to keep us from the Prime Commander. Join me in foiling their
Of Elise in this, what we got? Just explosive reaction. Wow. You guys think it would be a good idea for lower reso players to get awakened wing slots? Mainly let them place 1 or 2 stars instead of 5 stars. That'd be kind of a cool thing to see if they ever do that, and I could probably see them bringing that in at some point, just like they did with awakened slots. You know, the awakened full wing slots that you're on about. I can definitely see that being a thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If they can make money from it, then why not? Might not be as much money as they would if it was just obviously a whale put money into the game, but I think in general it's going to make them money, so yeah, could definitely see that becoming a thing. Haven't yet been lucky with green set items like Last Inferno, but we'll have to grind them also. The switch is always a bit annoying when you need to upgrade. It is, but it's just a general kind of thing of Diablo though, isn't it? The grind is there. And I suppose we're used to being able to pre-farm a lot of stuff. And I know they brought pre-farm back for a while, but I don't think people were able to kind of get to the level they wanted to. I know I wasn't, that's for sure. I'm not sure if it was on about them slots or if it was on about the actual reso slots you get once you pass Is it 6k reso? Maybe them lowering the threshold of that so lower spenders can gain access to the wings slots. Links for the runs, guys. No problem, man. It's been a blast as always. They allow any gem inside. See, I didn't know that. Never had the opportunity to get to 6k, so any gem slot, any gem can go inside. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they would ever lower that to maybe... Yeah, I'd agree with you. 100% they're going to lower that at some point. Just because it's going to increase the spend of the lower spenders, right? I would say they will probably lower it by 2,000 maybe to 4,000 reso. Yeah, I can see it being 4k. 49 greens you ended with also. Not bad going. Don't mean they're going to be any good though. What did I get? Do I need to scrap anything first? We got a few legendaries. Don't mean to say anyone's going to be any good though. Fort Vit intelligence. I mean, it's a little bit of an upgrade on CR. Gonna lose chance, but I could re-roll that. I'll put it in the bags. Terrible. We'll keep that. Also rubbish. We'll keep this because I don't know how good my current ones are. So other than that, guys, all that farming got us nothing. Standard. Yeah, it will give 3k players a new goal to push for. Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly what they will do it for. And I can't say I blame them. It actually gets us you know, gets us to push a little bit further. And doing it that way, it's not actually something that's going to increase. What was this anyway? I keep that one. It's not actually something that's going to increase the reso of other characters, is it? It's only going to be they're going to get the increase because it's been lowered, so it might be beneficial. That's what you were talking about. Make wing gem slots available for everyone, but if you are lower than 5k, then you can place 1 or 2 stars. Yeah. Just a quick rundown, make sure these are all rubbish. It's worse than I've got, so definitely rubbish, definitely rubbish, definitely rubbish, definitely rubbish. Yep, rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Also rubbish. Definitely rubbish. Yeah, happy to get rid of those. We only got 1 extra. That's not so good. Would have hoped for 6 extra, something like that. Would have been much better for me. Don't know how many wisps I've actually got now. 78. Did get 9 of these tributes, so I'll be able to do some more of that tomorrow before Monday's refresh. Have I got all my... You'll see how much I've been slacking this week though, guys. Normally this is already capped. And I normally cap this middle of the week. What are we getting here? Let's have a look. Okay, we've got a few more to identify. I mean, we'll keep that just in case. I think the others were terrible. Yep.
Speak very well.
Thank you for the coin, friend.
As you can see, I stashed loads of crap. This is why I want a better stash to sort out stuff, so you can actually keep stuff in a certain stash tabs compared to what it's doing for certain builds. Simply because it's just a mess when you come to changing gear, changing builds, and it doesn't organize itself properly. Necro Osso, have you actually changed? There it is, guys. Osso has actually gone Necro for the first time. Enjoy, watch my builds, man. No doubt I'll have messages tomorrow then. Will do, haha. I doubt it. You'll be messaging me tomorrow at some point. But I will be around tomorrow, so because I'm going to be doing my 100 crests, so it'll be sometime in the morning I'll be on. But I think, guys, we're going to leave the stream there for tonight. Been a 2.5 hour stream. It's been a first good stream. You know, thanks for all of you coming along to watch, and considering it is quite late for myself, 10 past 1 in the in early morning. So yeah, thanks for everyone that's subbed. Thanks for everyone that's followed. Anyone that's donated, thanks as well for that. But we will definitely see you tomorrow, that's for sure. Or we'll be doing the 100 crests on stream at some point during the probably morning. I'll probably get on about 10 o'clock for stream and stream for probably 4 hours. Get the 100 crests done, get some other farming done, and just have a general chat about the game. So feel free to come along. But we will all see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.